Hello, happy Thursday. Today is 5:15. It's crazy because it's now 5:15. It's like 5 o'clock. Everybody just getting off work. The weather's breaking. Let's just get right into it. It's another episode of All Thoughts No Thirst. All Thoughts No Thirst. Goodness, I never designed it to be a tongue trap, and that's exactly what it turned into. Yeah. So here we are. It's almost the weekend. Memorial Day weekend is coming up. Kids almost out of school. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. The seasons is finally changing. Everybody with allergies, we going through it. But I got a few minutes here with you, so I'm gonna spend it doing some good stuff. Let's just get right into it. And I'll start with what's in the news right now. We got the Diddy's going to trial. We finding out that what we thought was freaky. Mm-mm, mm-mm. That's a sick Negro. He's sick. That's a sick man. But I don't want to spend too much time on that because I don't really like topics like that because that's just something where I gotta let all the facts come out, and I need like 4 documentaries to be able to properly digest all the shit they about to say about this man or all the shit he was doing. Because like, bro, come on now. Because we as black people, white people, y'all might ask some questions too. Black people, we gonna ask but why? Why? So yeah, Chris Brown got arrested for something he did 2 years ago. That is that tracks for him. Chris can be minding his business, and somebody will say, "Hey man, 2 years ago, I called you something out I called you out your name, and you broke a bottle over my head. I think you deserve to go to jail." But I hope that gets resolved quick. I know a lot of people got concert tickets this year. Chris is an amazing artist, puts out great music. But man, it's just wild. But today I would like to discuss two words: attention and intention, and the application, proper application, and the improper applications, as well as the implications of we just been doing shit backwards. I feel like. So to frame this, I had to look up something. I do some research. Like I used that computer right there, and I looked up some stuff, and I was like, "Hey, we've been doing it wrong." But then I sat and thought about it as I, kind of reflected on all the information I kind of just had to digest. I realized the old way was the right way because back in the day, so say 60, 70 years ago, your great grandpa or your grandfather seeing your grandma with her homegirls or whatever, wherever they was at. I know they didn't have like nightclubs and stuff. They did, but they just kind of frowned upon. Everybody was much more serious back then. Like if you was 16, you was running the household pretty much. So what I learned is that intention is number one, attention should be number two. Because the example I received was, intention is your GPS, attention is the steering wheel. So basically, intention is where you're trying to end up. Attention is what you're looking at right this moment. And I was so floored by the amount of accountability I had to chew on and didn't get no water to drink with it. It was just like, ugh. But, a little more context. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine at lunch, and it came up. It's just like, what's the problem nowadays? Why is there so little seriousness when it comes to relationships, general lifestyles? And that's when it hit me because the comment she made was this. She said, nobody is really serious. And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, we are serious. And then I thought about it further. We're so serious about being unserious that we just get nothing accomplished. And to really keep going, I realized something about myself that I was doing it backwards pretty much. Like basically was chasing everything that kind of got my attention. And I kind of tailored my personality and my pursuit of certain things to be attention based. So as long as it held my attention, it was new, it was exciting, it was all good, right? But the minute something serious had to take place, I suddenly lacked any tools or resources to manage or maintain that situation. And that was like a humbling thought for me because as a middle aged man, I need to be intentional in everything I'm doing. Intentional about the your diet, your lifestyle, your environment, your spirituality. So why not be intentional about relationships, right? And it hit me right then and there that something's out of order here. So that's when I started reading. Shout out to Chat GPT for the synopsis because I would not have put it together that way. But hey, here we are. And in that synopsis, what I realized is that back then, our grandfathers, when they seen our grandma, they had a plan in place for her already. So with that being said, they had an idea of what they was gonna do with this lady before they ever met her. Meaning, he seen grandma and he said, you know what? I like you and I want you. You finna be mine. Let's go meet your daddy so I can tell him I want to marry you. End of story. And it was, you know, he led with such intention that when she caught his attention, it flowed together. Where nowadays we live in this attention based society where, instant gratification. Oh, I think they're interested in me, ladies. Let me tell you something. Male attention is fleeting. It is very, very fleeting. It is like a firecracker. It's a lot of smoke, bunch of noise, pow, gone. So attention can be based in habits, uh, physical, visual attraction, or like a subconscious attraction. Intention is based in decision making, communication styles, day to day life, discipline, internal discipline. That's the big one. So we have these people. We've become a group of people who are living these highly undisciplined lives, and now we're upset because nobody's serious. Well, nobody behaves in a way that needs any seriousness, right? Till you get to a point where you're like, I've had enough fun. I want to do something intentional with my life, and then you think about what it takes to be intentional. It takes consistency, right? So if I wake up and say, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds, right? I'm not going to walk out the door and say, I'm losing 50 pounds starting today. I'm not going around the corner to McDonald's. Seems counterproductive. The same thing applies to attention versus intention. It's like, oh, hey, beautiful. And then it fizzles out right after that. Or we skip steps. That's the biggest issue I think our generation has is we skip the step. We skip a lot of steps, actually. We don't court. Um, what else don't we do? We don't vet people properly either. Because as a man, I speak for men, we do dumb stuff based solely in a physical aesthetic. Meaning, and we all got a homeboy that's got a preference, right? Right. And he sometimes gets lucky. It works out. Or he has four baby mamas that all look alike. Or 13 ex-girlfriends that all look alike. But he has the same series of problems because he's putting aesthetic preference over compatibility and chemistry, right? Women, y'all do it too. Y'all do it too, cause y'all love a good looking poor man. He can be dirt poor, but if he is appealing to you, makes you laugh, it's a wrap, and that's so funny to me. But men, we can't laugh too hard because we do ourselves in because we wait till we get some money, a certain job title, certain vehicle, clothes, whatever, and go after the women that didn't care nothing about us. She wasn't remotely interested in us. But here you are trying to convince her to like you. You on these 55 different side quests, sending these long text messages and scriptures. And this girl's thinking, I don't like this dude. But you trying to overwhelm her with gifts and, hoping that she'll settle for you is the thing that you ignoring in that whole scenario. You ignoring the fact that if she chooses to settle for you, she's going to treat you like shit. Because you like her so much, you going to let it slide. Now, think back. Think about the girl that was rocking with you when you had 3 pairs of jeans. That was your wife. That was your wife. That was it. That was it. Ladies, y'all up. The dude you don't think is the most handsome or appealing, but he treated you right, catered to you, very attentive. He's intentional with you, but he was ugly. Mm, that was your husband. But we have this aesthetic preference that gets in the way where things get our attention and we turn off our intentions. Like you can say, oh, my intention is to be a good husband. Sure, sure, sure. My intentions is to be a good man to somebody. I think the work starts inside. My intentions are to secure me on all levels, emotionally, physically, spiritually, secure myself even financially, because it's kind of hard to have romance without proper finance. Money isn't everything, but let's just be for real. You come to me with your money toe up, you just came with your money toe up. There's no magic happening because what are we doing here? You shouldn't even be worried about me. If my pockets toe up, I'm not worried about love. I am not. I am not. I'm trying. Look, I can't love me because I'm down bad. That's another thing. If my pockets toe up, I get quiet, real quiet. You wanna go get wings? No, no. There's food at the house. There's everything I need is right here. I don't need to be out around nobody like this. So yeah, that's really that's been on my mind a lot, and it's starting to bother me to the point where I was like, dang, I had to really take a deep look inside myself, and I was like, man, I've really been doing it wrong. And I'm a dude who, I'm a bit of a thinker, but I noticed that my thinking stops when something crosses my face that I visually appreciate. And it's bad. It's like funny now. I can laugh about it, but when that friend mentioned it, I was like, "You sound like a hater." And in fact, it was the honest opinion of someone who's watched me do dumb stuff repeatedly. And I was like, "Wow, jeez, that was silly. That wasn't even stupid. That was silly." So I think that going forward, I have become more aware of things I do and don't want to entertain, things I do and don't want to like attain, I used to think having a bunch of money meant a bunch of, things. All money is a key. Money is a resource. Money doesn't change me internally. I've seen a meme on Facebook. A haircut does more for me than money would. I'm not saying $1 million wouldn't cure any emotional issue I got, but the worst thing that can happen to some men is we get that amount of money we feel like we've always wanted. And it becomes our downfall. Quick. Quick. And I also encourage ladies, stop lying to men. Stop. Stop. Just be honest. Just be real. Be real. Be honest. We'll be better people because of it. Like, y'all was gonna let us fight a gorilla. Like let's just be real. But fellas, we gotta stay away from certain things too. Quit trying to convince a woman that already don't like you to go half on the bills. At the end of the day, you got to do what works for you. This goes back to intentions. Are you trying to have a share? Are you trying to build a good life? Or are you trying to buy a wife for the moment? Are you trying to buy a spouse? Or are you trying to build a life? Me personally, I'd like to build a life. Now, what that looks like, I'm still working it out. I don't you don't have it all figured out, but I have enough understanding of me and what I can bring to the table and what I can provide in that situation romantically to not have to question certain things. But I also understand me enough to see when someone doesn't fit what I may need for my life. I don't care, the visual is always gonna be there, right? You know how many times we ride past nice cars and think, oh, that's a nice car. That's the thought process. It's not, oh, that's a nice car. I gotta have it. I'm betting the house on getting that car. Because now that you got the car, you don't know what to do with it, and you can't afford the oil changes on it. So now you stuck with a high dollar headache. We hear it all the time. Oh, they didn't start having relationship problems till he lost his job. Your person would never turn their back on you because you lost your job. Somebody who don't like you, it's gonna be hard on you. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard on you. So I encourage everybody, not just men. I speak to men because I'm a man. I don't have enough. I don't have any experience as a woman. And I got two sisters, so my perspectives of women is based in them two, and it's like y'all crazy, but we kind of gotta deal with you. Um, yeah, and I just think that it's important for all men to understand the purpose of being intentional. Intentionality will take you far. Attention is distracting because just because that girl's swiping up on your little Snapchat story telling you look cute or whatever because it's haircut, that's great. Thank you. That doesn't mean she that don't mean she wants to be bothered with you. You might just look good for the day. And also, if she does want to be bothered with you, there will be other signs other than her complimenting your haircut. And it's not her responsibility to make a plan for y'all. It's your responsibility. Ours, men, ours. So, um, the only exercise I can think is something that I kind of been working on. It's just kind of withdrawing from unhealthy things and fully immersing in more healthy things. Reconnect with yourself. Figure out your hobbies. Find things you like to do. Do it alone. Do it alone. Do it alone. You want to go see a Marvel movie? Do it. You want to go to some wild safari? Go. You don't always need somebody with you to experience these things. Reconnect with your health. Go see a doctor. Please go see a doctor. Because the last thing you want to hear is, oh, well, you need a heart. Yeah. Take care of yourself. If you taking care of yourself, it's easier for somebody else to appreciate you in a better capacity because you placing value fully in yourself and not just immaterial things like clothes, shoes, cars, you know, a certain house, certain neighborhood, whatever. That stuff comes and goes. Invest in yourself. And I promise, once you start investing in yourself, the intentions that you have for your life are going to become so much clearer. That picture becomes so much bigger. And then you get to see how people fit in that picture versus trying to paint a picture around somebody else who may not even want to be a part of your big picture. So that's really it. That was on my mind. I mean, do with that information what you will. Feel free to comment anything y'all think I missed out on, or send me some books to read, stuff like that. Give me some information that you own, topics or stuff like that. I'm open to just about anything with an asterisk. I say anything with an asterisk because I don't want to talk about some stuff. I don't. I don't. I do not. Yeah, what's next? Memorial Day coming, beginning of summer. So if you like me and you've been on the grill and they trust you to be on the grill, we up. We up. Just got to decide, is you going to cook Sunday or you going to wait till Monday? Just make the decision, do it. Get your sweat towel, you know, get you a seat, a speaker, a beverage of choice. Get on out there. Just make it happen. Make sure them sausages burnt and busting open. Uh, Make sure the chicken right. If y'all rib people, get them going early. Cause and it's funny because Memorial Day is like the gateway to the summer. That's the start, right? That's the start. And then we have 4th of July, which is so crazy because it's like 4 days into July. Everybody just kind of like, oh my God, summer's here, school's out, everybody going a million different directions. So it's cool. Yeah, nothing else really jumps out that I wanted to talk about other than just, don't be dumb. That's it. Just don't be dumb. And I also encourage you, fellas, if you gonna send that lady a message, send it with some plans attached. And no, you can't grease her scalp on the first date. Send her something to digest. Send her something to make her think. Don't say grand rising. That makes him upset. Okay? Don't lead with that. You know, if you need help formatting your message, chat GPT, DM me. I'll help you. I don't have terribly good success, but whatever. I want to see somebody win. A win is a win. Um, and that's really it. So that's gonna wrap. That's that. You know what? I'll wrap it up right there. That's a good spot to stop at. Y'all have a blessed day, week, month. Until we talk again. This is All Thoughts, No Thirst.